Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is April 13th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see the state of California right here. There goes our low pressure system right off the coastline. You can't miss it. Spinning, bringing precipitation into the region as we speak. And you can see the Hawaiian Islands to the bottom left, the Pacific Ocean. You can see all the cold air spilling in behind our storm here. So we're going to get a couple rounds of rainfall for some of the higher terrain in Southern California. It's going to bring some rain down to the Los Angeles and the San Diego metro. Probably not huge amounts, lesser amounts across some of the desert areas, but we're hoping to wring out some of this rain across some of the valley areas, help out the farming communities there, and bring some snowfall to the Sierra Nevada here. We are now into April, and we're above average for the snow water equivalent, but we'll take anything we can get or anything Mother Nature wants to throw our way here through the next few weeks. And taking a look here, let's back up there, and we'll go to the Doppler radar overlay here and take a look at the precipitation ongoing as we speak. You can again see the low pressure system spinning off the coastline here. Lots of cold air behind it, spreading that precipitation up over the region. Looks like the valleys are actually getting a pretty good dousing of rain this morning as we speak. So thumbs up for that. Hopefully this can translate a bit further south towards some of the farming communities like Lake Tulare and down towards Bakersfield as well. You can see the snow-capped mountains and the GOES 18 satellite imagery. You can also see the marine layer pushed well inland here with this onshore flow across the Los Angeles and San Diego metro. And now this is looking at some severe thunderstorm potential across Oregon, and the general thunderstorm risk does include Northeast California, like Mount Shasta, Wairika, and Happy Camp, for example, and Alturas. And there's also a thunderstorm threat a little bit further south. We'll look at that here in a few moments. Taking a look at the precipitation forecast. So look at the San Francisco, maybe up towards an inch. Sacramento up towards an inch as well, and the snow levels lowering down towards 4,000 feet here. Isolated thunderstorms also possible. Look at Weaverville, maybe up towards an inch and a half. Taking a look at the snowfall forecast, we're not looking at too much here, but beggars can't be choosers. We'll definitely take it in the month of April, and again, 4,000 feet. Chain controls are possible, and it doesn't take much. It only takes an inch or two to make things very slick out there, so heads up for those winter driving conditions. And again, this is for today. Thunderstorm risk does include Sacramento, Stockton, and Modesto, and they keep mentioning that funnel cloud potential there in their forecast. So heads up, eyes on the sky today. And looking at the rainfall forecast Friday through Sunday, and this obviously is Saturday morning right now, but we're looking at some pretty good amounts, and this is ongoing. Gorda and Big Sur, 2 to 3 inches. And again, hoping this overperforms a little bit for some of the valley areas. And the dry weather should start to return on Sunday. I'll show you that in the weather models here in a moment. But for Southern California, a couple rounds of precipitation incoming here. You can see 5 to 10 inches for the higher peaks as far as snowfall is concerned. We're looking at 1.5 to 3 inches, mainly across the mountains and the foothills. And again, there is the chance of a thunderstorm here, and they even do mention the non-zero chance of a tornado. It would be the weak and brief variety here, some of the coastal areas there, and some gusty winds will be rolling in here too, and all the way on in through Sunday. And also, there is a chance for some snow along I-5, the Grapevine there. Not a great chance there, but it could cause some winter driving conditions. You might see the snow flying. Taking a look at precipitation totals through Sunday night. There's San Diego down here. You can see lesser amounts to the south, better amounts across Santa Barbara and Ventura County, and some Los Angeles, San Bernardino County across the higher terrain, of course, and maybe a couple tenths of an inch there across some of the Los Angeles metro. Lesser amounts across the desert areas. Check out Mount San Antonio, 6 to 8 inches, maybe a few inches around Big Bear Lake here, especially across the higher terrain. Yeah, and you can this map kind of gives you a good idea of where these snowfalls are going to occur. Here's some strong winds that are going to be accompanying this system as well. Look at Bishop, Tonopah gusting to 60, Dyer. Look at Las Vegas, 40 miles per hour. So you're going to notice it. Look at Barstow, 50 miles per hour. Heads up if you're traveling on the interstates out there, high-profile vehicles. Beware, and some of those gusty winds all the way across the desert areas into Arizona as well. Now, this is the culprit here. This is what's causing all this crazy weather. And you can see at 18,000 feet, 500 millibars, it's right off the Bay Area here. And this is going to be about Sunday morning shown there. And as we go through Sunday afternoon and then finally on into Monday morning, the system will be creeping its way off to the east. And you can clearly see the ridge coming as we go on in through next week. We're going to warm things up a bit here, and we're going to, pay attention to that little warm up here before we start to worry about the extended too much here. We're going to try to break things down a little bit over the next few days and see what's coming here. Still some model disagreement on what's to come in the extended forecast. Now, looking at 700 millibars or 10,000 feet, you can see the very cold air aloft kind of hanging across much of the state here. Nice bowling ball there at 10,000 feet. I always like to show this diagram here, or the visual representation of the upper levels of the atmosphere at 10,000 feet with that colder air associated with that system. That's going to spawn some severe weather across the plains early next week as well. Now, taking a look at the composite reflectivity, this is the North American model, and you can see it matches up with the Doppler radar pretty nicely. It might actually be underdoing some of the precipitation occurring across some of the valley areas, but it does show a nice swath of precipitation moving across the region. You can see it moving in to Ventura and Santa Barbara counties here as we go through the late morning hours, probably just starting to occur right now across some of the Los Angeles metro, San Diego getting a bit, can't rule out some thunderstorm activity with that. And then again tomorrow, as you see the low pressure center spinning right off the central coast here, continue to bring some of these showers here, maybe getting down to the valley areas, and you can see a lot of wraparound moisture for Northern California as well, all the way on in through Sunday afternoon and evening. And by the time we get towards very late Sunday night to Monday morning, the shower activity should be wrapping up as this system moves across the Four Corners area and starts to spawn some severe weather out across the plains. So this is day one thunderstorm outlook. This includes the Bay Area, like I mentioned, down towards the central coast. And here is day two. It starts to move down towards the Los Angeles metro here. Monday, chance is going to be pushing off to the east. Now, taking a look at total precipitation in inches on the North American model. This is hot off the presses. And again, I think it might be underdoing some of the precip falling across some of the valley areas, but look at some of the amounts across the coastal ranges in Northern California with this wraparound moisture into southern Oregon, picking up some robust amounts across the higher terrain. Look at the transverse range and the peninsular ranges as well, picking up 2-3 inches in some cases here also. So again, the very wet water year is still, or at least since January, is going to be ongoing here across a lot of Southern California. So yeah, mid-April storm, we'll definitely take it. And this is total snow, Kuchera ratio in inches. This is ongoing as we speak. Even some snow into some of the lower elevations here. Actually, I shouldn't say lower elevations, higher elevations of the coastal range. But you can see as we go through this afternoon and evening, we're piling up that snowfall a bit across the central and southern Sierra Nevada also. So some snow, as I mentioned, across some of the Southern California higher terrain as well. So watch out, Big Bear, especially across some of the higher peaks around you. Now, looking at the wind speed. So this is going to be really kicking up the winds as we go through the day today. You can see them start to really rip across the Sierra Nevada and portions of Nevada, the higher terrain. And yeah, watch as we go all the way on in through this evening. Check out some of these winds ripping across the peninsular ranges all the way down across western Arizona into Nevada. You can clearly see the low pressure system right off the coastline here for tonight. And then we're going to continue these gusty winds all the way on in through Sunday, and probably another little burst here as the system starts to pivot across the area. Check it out. Watch out. High profile vehicles across some of the desert areas all the way on in through Monday morning before that gradient finally starts to relax. Now, taking a look at the daily 2-meter maximum temperature, check out the cool down already occurring here. These are the daily highs for today. Still some lower 70s or mid 70s here across some of the southern valley areas, down towards Bakersfield and some of the desert areas. But as we go through tomorrow, you can see the cool down really affecting even some of the desert areas as well. Then Monday, we start that slow climb back up next week. So we really may be warming up quite nicely as we go through next week. But again, we'll break that down as we go off into the extended forecast over the next couple of days or so. Now, this is looking at percent of average precipitation. Since January 1st, you can see California really doing well. When you start to see anything green here, that's above average. When you see blue, that's pretty substantially, and purple is really wet. So look at San Diego and Los Angeles metro areas, and some of the desert areas up towards Death Valley even, some of the Sierra Nevada doing really well since January 1st. But you got to use a little caution with that, because since the water year back on October 1st, a lot of areas are still below average here, even though Southern California is still above average. It's kind of a more of a mixed bag, as you can see. So keep that in the back of your mind. We still need some of these storms to produce some precipitation here, and hopefully we can get another one or two as we go on into the early portions of the summer. And this is looking at lower Colorado here. Lake Mead doing quite well. The snow water equivalent, we're doing nice across much of the Southwest. And Southern California gets a lot of their water from the lower Colorado, and these are the areas here of the lower Colorado basin that export to California. So nice graphic here. But yeah, anyway, eyes on the sky today. Watch out for that thunderstorm potential. You can see it. I don't see many lightning strikes going on just yet. It may not occur till some of the afternoon hours here, but still some sunny skies across some areas like Bakersfield and some of the valley areas here, and across the deserts. But that will be changing here as the system continues to pivot to the south and east and starts to spread some precipitation across Southern California as we go through the day today. But anyway, I hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.